I hope I haven't set this timer by accident. Yes, I did. Alright, let me... Okay, hello everybody. Sorry for the strange setup this time. We will probably have to change the room because I record as well every lecture for you, so you can pause me and rewind if you want to listen something else, or you can do that as well actively. You can just stop me and say like, hey Robert, you are talking far too fast, can you slow down, or can you explain that again, especially if it doesn't make sense. I will update you probably via email, and it should come up as well on your timetable, so just look out for it. So probably next week we are somewhere else, where I have a desk that faces me, because when you see the video you will see me a lot from the side and from the distance too, so you can actually see the screen. So that will be a fight for this session. To get started, we are going to study in this module partnership and collaboration. It's a topic I'm personally as well quite interested in. I've done a little bit research in that area, and still I'm very pro partnership and alliances. I think there's a lot to be gained from it, particularly in my refined research area, which is competences, organization and capacities. And I will go through you with that in a very gentle manner, so that at the end of the module you will have a healthy understanding what it means to be a stakeholder, or a partner in a collaborative effort. So there's as well certain dynamics. And next to that we will have as well explored a few case study scenarios to familiarize with what dynamics are actually like if you're in a relationship like that. Let's get started. My name is Robert Müller. A few of you know me already. Feel free to call me Robert or Rob. I listen as well to Robbie or Robbie, but that gets ambiguous. You may have to shout the name twice, so it's not the most efficient way of getting my attention. Otherwise, I'm a senior lecturer in project management. You will get me as well in other modules on this program. So I'm largely based in postgraduate studies. So I do like my concepts. I do like my case scenarios, working with companies. So sometimes it's a little bit too specific or too conceptual. If that happens and doesn't make sense, just interrupt me or shout in and say, Robert, this doesn't make sense, please explain. So I would really like to have this open platform with you. Especially in this group size, this should actually work very well to have as well open discussion and explore experience. We have a new experiment at the moment. We have a lot of new technologies that are combined. So you are actually encouraged to use Facebook if you want. So this is a group that is actually managed by me, but I have as well an young colleague that helps me with making materials available. You can share their stuff if you want. You can as well. Hello.
Hi.
Please go on.
Sorry.
No, quite all right. You can as well alternatively use LinkedIn if you're up for that. It will be all on the Prezi that will be on your e-learning portal. Are you familiar with the e-learning portal? Yes? No? It's the ELP. So if you have questions in the seminar, I can show you how to get there. So you can as well decide where you touch yourself, and the idea is that if you have questions or there's something in your mind that you didn't ask in the lecture or seminar, you can just write it down and make it a discussion point and see what other people think. So feel free to answer as well on points. I will try to answer as well every 2 days at least. So this is my attempt to it. Otherwise, for setting up a meeting or discussing anything, I prefer actually if you make an appointment. I'm normally in my office, but I have, for example, today 6 hours of lectures and seminars, So if you would try to get me, it would be a very dissatisfying experience. You would come to my office and I wouldn't be there. So if you want to see me or speak about anything, then feel free to drop me an email, and we just timetable a reasonable amount so that we can actually discuss without being disturbed what we want to discuss. Yeah. Any other queries? Maybe a little bit more background. I've been now, in the past I did work in industry, but this is now, I just learned that recently, over 8 years ago. So I've been for 8 years in academia. Initially mostly doing research, and then since now in my 5th year of lecturing as well. Yeah, as before I was a pure researcher and scholar, and since 5 years I have switched into that role, doing lectureships too. Yeah, but before that I've worked as well a little bit. You can actually explore that. It's quite transparent on the platforms if you're interested in that. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. I'm actually quite curious about backgrounds. Can we do, just to get to know each other, quickly a name and where you're from and where you want to go? So this can be as ambiguous as it sounded. Yeah, you can say, I'm coming, so I'll do that quickly. Hi, my name is Robert Möbler. I come originally from civil engineering and project management, and I want to do research and support you in your career. That is where I want to be. Something random like that. Okay? Shall we start here? Did you want to make the start?
Yeah. My name is Polly. I come from Hong Kong, and my first degree is business management. And I'm not sure my career yet in the future, but I will think about it after this course.
Yeah. And any rough direction?
Maybe project manager or any surveyor.
Okay. Oh, surveyor as well. Yeah, that's an option. Okay. And then construction or something like that, or
maybe.
Yeah, because with surveying it's kind of you go of course in a direction. Yeah. Okay. Super. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm Miriam Elaya from Nigeria. My background is statistics, and I want to implement project management in the educational sector.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is a tough one. We are still battling here with it. So great topic, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I'm Faye, and I live in Northumberland. My undergraduate was business with marketing, and I would like to head into project management. Well, I'd like to be chartered, and then I'd like to go into project management, but I haven't decided either for client or consultancy yet.
Okay, and any industry or more general?
Probably sort of energy or infrastructure.
Oh wow, those are the hot topics at the moment. There are a lot of contracts already promised, and yeah, we don't really talk about it at the moment. So we do need a little bit marketing with project management. Very good, yeah.
My name is Mehnaz. I'm from Iran, and I studied tourism management in the past. And the reason I chose this course is like to do project management and at the same time planning, because I don't have much experience in planning, so I thought that it might be useful in my CV to have project planning and management at the same time.
Very good. And do you want to go as well in that direction, planning and any industry?
Preferably oil and gas.
Oil and gas. Okay, super. Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Rajiv, and I'm from India. I've had several years of experience, and I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, and I've worked in different fields: sales, marketing, engineering to start off with, and I've kind of had some exposure to project management. So I'm doing this course so I can explore it a bit further.
Very good. And you want to stay in that industry field as well?
Engineering.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Ahmed. I am from Oman. I was a graduate as a civil engineer. I would like to increase my knowledge and awareness in project management. That's referred to my position currently. I am construction civil engineer. Hopefully I will be project manager.
Very good. Yeah, do the next step in managerial terms. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mahdi. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I have a background in electrical engineering, and this is my second semester here, so I'm enjoying.
And do you want to go as well into project management in the electrical field, maybe power plants or something like that? Or?
I haven't decided actually about this. But yeah,
Okay.
about electrical, yeah, about electrical.
Yeah. So you take the time as well to contemplate and think about it, yeah? Very good.
Kind of.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is of course what the time is there as well to do, yeah? So to think about it and let it sink in what you like most, yeah? Or where you want to see yourself.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm from Kenya. And my first degree was in civil engineering. And I'm doing project management so that I can go into the oil and gas sector. Yeah, basically.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much.
Simon, I'm from around here. I studied environmental management in the past, and I do want to be a project manager. I'm just not exactly sure why yet.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Lee. I graduated here in 2012 in building project management. I've had a couple of years out in industry, working in construction and the public sector. And I'm doing the MSc, hoping to go into maybe IT or either finance or insurance. So,
Very good, thank you.
Hi, my name's Michael. First degree is Master's Business degree, MBA. Grifted for a while, ended up in training. Not sure how I ended up there, but I ended up training with skills development. Doing this Master's degree in project management, I'm not really sure where I'm going to end up. I do have thoughts about travelling the world, and project management would allow me to do that and earn a living at the same time. So I guess that's why I'm there, why I'm here.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, my name is Salman Fatak. My first master was in banking and finance, but then I converted to construction field, and now I'm doing project management, and I want to be a scholar basically. So want to continue for my PhD.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Okay, so now you have a little bit information about each other. Later on we have as well a session that is slightly intense. We have to familiarize ourselves with values of our partners, business partners. And I give you a controversial scenario, and we will have to figure out who are the worst partners and who are the best partners, and can we do business with them, or is it a deal breaker? Yeah? So quite a hard topic to face, but I hope it will be fun too. And that will be time when we work as well in groups. Okay, so this is really kind of the introduction and an overview of the specific topics that we are covering. And as you can see, we start with competition, and here I see competition as kind of it's opposite end of collaboration. It's based on how I describe the relationship basically in the session. But you will see that competition and collaboration have actually a lot in common. So even if you collaborate, sometimes competition for the best idea to be promoted in your organization may actually be something healthy to have. Then we go in particular approaches of collaborating. We talk a little bit about partnering, hybrids of that. We go a little bit in alliances, joint ventures. So don't worry, those terms don't have to mean too much to you yet. And then we go in competition in businesses, collaboration in businesses, and partnering in businesses, and we look really at the relationship level. This is often lost out of sight, and especially I have a few, my past company, I still have a lot of friends there, and it was a lot of mergers and acquisition, and you have by definition as well one of the partnership agreements. Often the us gets lost a little bit out of sight, but we will look at that and go a little bit in the relationship literature. So what do I mean by competition? Somehow along the line it was like defined really as activity or condition of striving to gain or win something by defeating or establishing superiority over others. And I thought this picture was quite representing, a little bit giving you this touch of evolution. Maybe the strongest and fastest or fittest survive and the other may be eaten in the due process. So this is something that we will actually cover in quite a little bit detail. Next to that is, of course, as I said, I tried to polarize it a little bit to let it sink in, is a collaborative end. And here the idea is really the action of working with someone to produce something, and ideally it's a symbiosis, or you will read a lot of terms in the literature like synergetic relationships, where you both gain more than you both put in. Yeah? So that is of course an optimal scenario, but it has as well certain implications. Then with partnering, taking part in an undertaking with another or others, especially with shared risk and profits. And so this is a quote, so I shouldn't really edit it around, but in project management we think more about risks and opportunities, and both have often a numerical value attached to them. Here the picture is, I should have really went for the interpretations, that was the whole idea. Can somebody describe what the picture here is? I assume you're not all zoologists as well as a hobby, but I take random guesses. Why do you think this is a partnership? What is a beneficial relationship here?
Does the clownfish provide food or something for the anemone? So
Yes.
then it lets it live in it.
Yes. And what has the clownfish from it? You were very informed. I would have gone with fish as well. The fish is you're spot on. Yeah, so the clownfish provides a service to the sea anemone. Yeah, so this plant, it's not a plant, it's actually an organism. But what is the relationship? You said he looks after the plant,
And it lets him live in it.
yeah, and why would this be beneficial?
Does the clownfish clean it or feed it or something like that?
Yeah, it's the first guess that was the right one. Yeah, knowledge. Sorry, not guess. Yeah, but you're quite right. It cleans it actually from parasites and allows the organism to thrive. And at the same time, what does a clownfish have from it? You always have to look on both sides.
The clownfish is like protected because don't they like emit like a ray or something?
Yes, exactly. They have like little stings that they fire out. If you do snorkeling or diving, don't touch it. It's a terrible sensation. Yeah, so it's basically protecting the clownfish from enemies. And as you can see, he's very bright. So other animals that potentially consider him a delicious snack are basically slightly turned off by the sea anemone that kind of protects the clownfish from the enemies. And then, as you can see, they live basically in it and can hide in the plant. So that is a partnering relationship, if you want. Yeah? So it's a fair, square deal. Yeah. And if he doesn't look well enough, or she doesn't look well enough after the organism, then it dies actually down, and the fish can't hide in it anymore. So that's really a symbiotic relationship, apparently. Okay, we have, of course, the other side. When we come to the business application from my metaphors here, then here you will see that business is associated with competition traditionally. Or would you share this thought? Or have you experienced other ways of business?
We've experienced both. We tend to experience both in a particular room.
Yeah.
I mean, competition is everywhere. Doesn't matter what you do, you're always going to have competition in one form or another. But you can look to achieve certain things through collaboration and through partnerships, which perhaps is not with your competition, which will make you stronger and better to compete more effectively.
Yes. Very good. So you have already kind of pinpointed there. So if you collaborate, you can compete maybe together, and you have a stronger proposal for a project or an undertaking that you fancy. Yeah, a very good example. And there's the other side. You may actually compete to be in that collaboration, yeah, or you may actually compete to hold the quality level or comply to the risk requirements in your project to be part of that. Yeah. Well, traditional thoughts revolves around the idea of competition, capitalism, and self-escalation. Yeah? So you What does that mean? Self-excavation? Pardon?
Exaltation.
Yeah?
Exaltation, that's what's the word.
Yeah, so what does that imply? Can you give me an example? What does the word mean?
Like increase.
Yeah. So you basically try to get yourself up in whatever the competition is. Yeah. So here it's being dominant to your other competitors. Capitalism, having a lot of people that owe you money, maybe having a lot of money. This depends on your culture. Yeah. And then success is determined by money in the bank, power, influence, and material possessions often. This is again very simplified, quoted. You will see I've taken this, and here the quotation marks are missing. This is concerning. Okay, but this is from a paper that is as well in your reading list. You will see that it's about competition versus collaboration, and that was from Asian collaborations. Particular popular takeovers in South Korea. Nobody wants to go there anymore and collaborate. There's a reason for it. It's mostly Samsung now. And you know then that they may have played the odds a little bit. So they may have hidden competition even in collaboration. Then collaboration in business suggests that by working together we can create the best possible solutions. Harry S. Truman was once quoted as saying, there is no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. And that is already important to recognize, because who gets the credit in the project? Some people smile. Who gets the credit if it goes well?
I think it depends upon the agendas in which they had before they went into the project. Who shouts loudest as well, sometimes as well.
Yes. So I did like the other answer, the whole team, and this is how it should be. But you have a point there. It's normally who sits at the negotiation table and shouts loudest that earns a lot of credit. So that there is a hidden dimension to this. But again, who has good examples of collaboration? Have you experienced good collaborations before?
Like Sony and Ericsson, they were producing mobile phones together.
Yeah.
And now they have separated.
Oh, so is this good or bad?
Well, it was a good collaboration because at that time when they were together, so they were dominating the market. In some countries, though not all of them, I cannot say, but in some countries, in my country, they were. But right now, when they have gone their separate ways, so Ericsson is no longer producing phones. And
you know that they have been actually acquired, yeah. They don't exist as a brand as far as I'm aware. So
yeah, so it was good. They were producing good phones, and it was a hit when they were together.
So collaboration can provide you with market dominance. Yeah? What you're implying here, and they probably shared as well their capacities. So they have probably expertise in particular areas that they combine to have a superior product. Yeah, but you notice here already the language, and still they are probably collaborating to be competitive against other companies. Yeah,
and against each other.
And against each other indeed. Yeah. So the split as well was probably a calculated business decision that they realized exactly that they can now probably do the skills that one company had themselves now because they have learned. Yeah, so this is as well kind of the game. Yeah.
Transfer of technology, like from one company to another.
Yeah. So technology, then you have as well skills and knowledge. This often as well becomes very transparent, especially if you're in the same working space. Yeah, if you share the same practice. If you have smart engineers in between and smart project managers, then you figure it normally out quite quickly what they're doing. Yeah, and then what are other shared resources? We had it already. What do you share in a collaboration as well?
Ideas.
Yeah, ideas. I like it. It goes in, for me, the right direction. But I was thinking more practical in business terms. What do you want to avoid, or what are you after?
Like as per the previous slide, we are after dominance. If we get a collaboration with someone, so we can dominate the market or anything?
Well, I think you probably said it earlier. It's you share as well the risks, and they're often in a collaboration. This is a beautiful thing. It's often allocated with the most capable person. If not, then you have a partner in the collaboration that is dominating probably the relationship. From my own background, I worked as well. This is quite some time now ago, 2006. I worked in South Africa, and we were working on merger and acquisitions. And this was a merger, and we bought like a local ship's potato plant. Yeah, so that you throw the raw potatoes in, and on the other side you get little bags of crisps that you can sell into the market. And we were needing additional capacity, and they needed our expertise because their technologies were really behind. So we brought in technology and guaranteed jobs, so they got as well. So this was really a beautiful merger in a way, because the employees had then health and benefits deals with us, and at the same time they were away from the project and performance contract. They got full employment with us, and at the same time we bought additional capacity in the company. So, but it accelerated everything in the company, which was criticized by employees and managers. But that is what it does. Automation and digitalization, you are in for a ride. So it's often a hidden intent. But yeah, what was interesting, very good resonance as well. Sadly, one of the managers left, so, but it had to do with their personality rather than anything else. Now then we have as well in partnering in business, the me, us, and you. It's a little bit leaning towards Freud's old concepts, but we have of course updated it a little bit, so it's not really from 1890. Yeah? The development of successful long-term strategic relationships between customers and suppliers based on achieving best practice and sustainable competitive advantage. That is still quite old. We think now often as well in creating a value chain that is meaningful to all partners, to really achieve a profitable remit. Yeah? Is this easy? Me, you? Well, what does it mean? It's a little bit cryptic, isn't it? What does that stand for? Who is you? Who is me? And who is us? Does that make sense, or is it slightly cryptic? Okay, one nod. Other ones speculate, no, I rather not. Okay, so the idea really being, yeah, so when you're in a partnering relationship, business relationship, then you have your own priorities. You are after maybe certain profits. You may have like certain intent with sustainability measures, yeah, that you really want to live. You know, corporate social responsibility. You may want to do it locally, so this is like very important to you. And this all combined, and you want your 20% profit, and then the share dividend to pay out to all the major shareholders, something like decent 50%. You know, everybody's happy, something like that. Yeah. So if you are on that level, this is your interest, and now you are partnering with me. Yeah, and I'm a charity. I'm very experienced, and I have good social contacts. I like working with the community. But I don't buy into your high profits. I think like, oh, why do you have to take so much money? This is unreasonable. Yeah? And then we come together in the us. So for collaborating, we have to kind of, if it's shared values, this is very good in a partnership. If they are conflicting, this is not the end. You have to find resolutions and negotiate, so you actually arrive at a fruitful us, where you both gain badly out of it. Yeah? So don't stop at the conflict. That's the important bit. Yeah? And us, I think they did it as well, confrontational with the color scheme. So red is you, yeah, you know what you want. Green, yeah, I kind of know what they want, but when do you normally hear if something is working well? Did you know this up front? It's a little bit like a closed book up front. It's normally when the first clash happens, or when you read the terms and conditions in the fine print. Yeah, and we need this, and we should comply to that standard. Yeah, that is when it gets to a point where you have to watch that you are as well in a position to actually achieve what you are after. Yeah, so there's an important platform for potentially conflict, negotiation, and finding resolutions, to collaborate nonetheless, if this is your aim. There's well partnerships that are deemed to fail, and then it's worthwhile recognizing this and pulling the brakes. Yeah? Often, I have to say from past experience, as a project manager, that needs a lot of convincing of the relevant staff that are managing your partnership, for example, if you have one. And that can be tricky. That means convincing. And often the other team is trying to convince them to stay in it. So imbalanced partnerships can be very dangerous. Okay, so with the introduction, why should we even collaborate? Actually, I'll tell myself. Traditionally, we have outsourced. Yeah, this is a still a standard mode, and it doesn't necessarily disagree with the collaboration. So, yeah, do you have any examples where you have collaborated and still outsourced, or other way around, you outsource to collaborators?
Sorry, what's the question?
I mean, it's now here like drawn as a line. So we have the traditional outsourcing and then global collaboration, and with it come the factors. But I was just curious: has anybody had experience where you have collaborated and then still outsourced or worked with subcontractors or something like that? But that is probably the most common form, I would assume, actually. Yeah. So, for example, we have here oil and gas. So if you work in a oil and gas industry, you may have the main companies that actually are after the oil trading. Those are the famous names. And they may collaborate then with one of their main oil rig companies. This is often a collaboration because they want as well to control the capacities. There's a reason for it, because if you have too much oil, as we did recently, the oil price plummets. So it helps if you have like a close tie there. And then you subcontract specialist contractors, for example, to extend the bore field. This is then often outsourced, or you have your specialists that basically come in for that. Same is true for construction, even automotive or in the food industry, what I just described as well. You could rent capacity on demand. So if we would have a big football stadium that would say, like, we have now the World Championship, we need capacities for this, then we would make a guess, and they would book the capacity lines to produce the products that they need. That meant digitalization and pull system, so something that we will see later as well. But just to talk you through the different stances, so traditionally outsourced, the project goal is often cost reduction, you bid it out. And then collaboration goal, lower costs often. Often you have quality standards. This is a little bit, I've taken that again from a journal paper, so there are certainly other criteria why you would do that too. It allows you as well a lower risk and a certain flexibility. So that's another added element to collaborate, of course. Partner value, technical expertise. This is often how you write out. You ask for a piece to be done. How do we write out? Do we do it by hours and input, or do we do it by output, or do we do it by piecework, products? Or what have you come across? Have you done something like that? Writing out?
Traditional output, or what you want the other business to achieve for you, and you pay them a fee for doing so.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
Yeah, it's one very common way. So you go kind of for output, sometimes even a part product, or an assembly part, that has to be delivered in a certain way with certain quality indicators by a certain time often, and then often fixed to a price that they agree, that you are negotiating. Well, what are other ways? Okay, in other industries we do as well quota work. Yeah, we just say, you come for 9 hours, you work for us, we pay the 9 hours. How much do you want? You do everything in this remit. Yeah, this is as well possible. And then you have as well time contracts. So you ask, build as quick as possible. This piece, it has to be actually finished yesterday. If you do it quicker, you get bonuses, and that is of most fixed rate. Yeah? But I mean, those are just, they all lean on technical expertise and as well certain ambitions if you want. And then we have as well the project time type. So here we have maintenance. What is Q&A?
Quality and assurance.
Yes. Yeah, and then new features. Yeah. So this is the traditional outsourcing route. And if you look at the global collaboration intent, so here we have as well joint ventures, partnerships, alliances. You find that it's more about revenue generation. What is revenue? It's not just cost reduction.
Profit.
Yeah. What else?
Profit, income.
Income. It's basically everything that comes back.
Yeah.
If you have a house, for example, you have as well an asset value, for example. Yeah. So this would all count in. So you look really at the total value generated in a way. Yeah. Whereas here, projects, it's often profits, yeah, costs saved, and it's a different game. Yeah. Then you have a collaborative goal, cost leadership often, or sometimes you set in a, in some collaborations you agree a profit margin that you all stick to, and you carry the risk as well based on your capacities and competences maybe. Then access to knowledge, so you have an open dialogue, hopefully, on a good collaboration. And then access to intellectual property, if you are running around in an industry where you have a lot of patents, or where a lot of actually here Procter & Gamble, there's one R&D manager, he tells me always quite proudly, we don't even write the patents because then in 5 or 15 years people can read it. Well, you can actually read it from day one, but we just keep it a secret. So you can see there are other intents. And in a partnership you would have access hopefully to it. And faster time to the market is another one. Access maybe to new markets. So some partnerships are as well to establish yourself in a new segment. A lot of famous examples with that actually, especially more recently. And build to revenue. So you may have short-term decreases in profits without long-term profit raises. But it shows you already that you are in for a long-term relationship in something like that. Then the partner value, technical leadership again. So you can provide expertise to the partners, and they carry the risk as well. Intellectual property, so business knowledge, process leadership. That is a very powerful thing. You can as well then decide to optimize the process. As when you subcontract, you kind of buy into a process, and you can try to optimize it, but that normally creates a lot of tension. And then on-demand scalability is another one. So you often have as well an open dialogue to a degree. This depends again. Market context and knowledge is another one. You have often your insights from your past experience that you can share and compare and work out a win-win situation. Well, I say again, win-win situation. Could be as well a lose-lose situation if it's too advanced or too backwards. And well, again, partner value. Then on the project type, we have new product development, often again from that, new market entry, new product versions. That is normally the driver for collaboration. Did you have any recent global collaborations in mind? Any items that you have? No? New products, market entry, product version? There's nobody the Google Samsung phone? No? Okay, that was a wide pitch. But Yeah, there are quite a few. It's very common, especially in new technology. So in health, we have at the moment a hybrid with 3D printing organs.
New limbs, I would presume. Robotic hands.
Yes. Yeah.
They're coming up.
Yeah. So especially on new advancement interfaces, again, new products, new markets, or new product versions, we see this very often that two kind of technical expert companies, companies with particular knowledge base, come together to collaborate and then generate research projects that are more a marketing stunt at the beginning before they actually arrive at a feasible product. Anybody interested in the Tesla car? Does anybody know what that is? Tesla car? We have a few new cars there.
The electric car.
Yes.
Electric one,
yeah, and
I think I've seen it. It's quite like it's a bit like a sports car, isn't it?
Yes.
Like
but what does it? Yeah, exactly. It's a convertible. Yeah.
I've only seen a photo, but I don't actually know anything about it.
I have seen two different ones in Newcastle already. So it's basically a pitch of an electric car that has as well ride distance, and that was a joint venture from a few guys. It's a paintball guy with a team from other Silicon Valley people that wanted to basically promote the technologies that we kind of have already developed but weren't yet marketable, and they have made a very fine job of it. It's a luxury car though, so it's a price range of £200,000. So it's not yet achievable for everybody, but it's a prototype to basically bring in a budget to develop it further and then scale it down so you have an electric car for everybody where you can drive as well from Inverness to, is it Land's End? Land's End, somewhere down in Cornwall, without having to have long holidays in between. Yeah? So that is where that comes in. Once again, collaboration between businesses is a process of pooling knowledge, resources, and relationships for the sake of purchasing shared aims. And again, you have to monitor in each of those relationships that your shared aim is in it as well. So when competitors work together, innovation results. There's always as well the interface of where you have to negotiate how you actually work together. So here we come already in a little matrix where we look at prerequisites for collaboration versus collaboration intensity. And you can see there's a traditional business approach at arm's length relationship on a contract basis for the project.
Well, how can collaboration operate in its truest form if people are competitors? I haven't experienced that.
Well, so for example, you will know the contract for the Crossrail project, but you know you don't have the capacity. So you bid it out to your competitors so you can actually do the whole project. So this is a typical arm's length contract.
That's adversarial, that's not collaboration.
You would collaborate on a contract basis on that project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Collaboration is not the contract form. This is just a description, for example, of just having a contract relationship, partnership. Actually, in the seminar we play as well, I guess, the definition. So, but we should do that maybe now. So collaboration is really just a description. We can collaborate. I will try to collaborate and try to exchange my knowledge with your knowledge, and we try to make sense of it together. So this is my collaboration intent.
Yeah, but you'll also, but the main aim of doing that is to grab your competitors' knowledge, their understanding, their competencies, develop it yourself, and leave them behind. So how can you truly collaborate with a competitor?
Yeah,
One
truly.
of the examples is like construction. You have two smaller main contractors that will join together to do a bigger project. Like Jersey, they're building a new police station. It's supposed to be Cameron's, this big company that was going to get it, but it's actually two smaller companies, Reed and Rock.
Doing the same thing, competing in the same market.
So they've joined together to do the project.
We'll have to join together and being specialists in different markets to have a bigger haul to bid for that project, or they're truly competitors in the same markets.
They're two building contractors that have joined together because they don't have the resources, but together they've got the plant, they've got the labour, they've got the managerial skills, whereas if they're separate, they can only do projects up to 5 million. This is like a 20 million project. So that's what we're
It's the same. If you
I'm just talking from experience. I've never
Yeah.
even wanted to collaborate with a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't have the choice, you know, especially with a police station. That sounds as well like a semi-public contract.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get in if you don't have prerequisites, or so that there's often an intent, and they may still do their construction pieces very individually. You know, that they even have shared project cabins and don't maybe talk with each other. You know, just if something goes wrong or somebody hasn't.
Is that relationship governed through contracts and memorandums of understanding, or is it governed through true collaboration?
No, I have worked in that scenario where there were two construction companies, mechanical construction companies. One was MET. Both were from Turkey. Both are competitors in Turkey and also in some parts of the world. But in Saudi Arabia, they were doing the project together because it was a huge project, and both of them cannot do it solely. So they came together and they started the project together, and also they had contracts, and they were going by the contracts, like what MET was doing or what Bulkson was doing. So they were sharing the profits in that thing. So it was like that. They had their contracts and they were collaborating and making the site work.
And it's the same in telecoms, like EE is T-Mobile and Orange and another company which is now merged into one big company. So,
and they still have their individual packages. If you were with a company before and you're still in that time, you are in very different phone call centers and you have very different access.
I think maybe I'm thinking more towards the partnering where everything's open, where you don't.
I see.
You don't
so
have,
here,
you don't have the risk of your partner running off with an understanding of your core competence that you came and was protected before you joined together.
Yeah, you're spot on, and that is exactly where the intensity comes in. Yeah, so it's market-based, transaction-driven across unit boundaries, and you may watch them very carefully, so that they don't. So it's a different environment. You're spot on. As a project manager, this is normally as well when you have two IT systems. And so the internal one, and then the stuff that you actually copy over for shared insight. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say bad practice, but it makes it extremely difficult, and normally mistakes are grown when you play these dual world games. Yeah, but with this, actually I'm a little bit time conscious. We have as well the sharing information, transaction of data, and that is a collaboration with suppliers, key customers, and supply chain. So this is often makes sense if you're after bigger bids, or you want to expand in a market through innovation, and maybe new product design. And this is often the minimum that is required. And here you have improved the business processes across legal boundaries, and you often try as well to raise the game. This can be as well a tricky one. So where does the competition sit here, potentially? Did you see it?
So what's the question?
Where is, in this sharing information, transaction data, where does the main competition come in the supply chain, maybe?
Similar suppliers.
Yeah.
Suppliers are the same.
Yes. So here you're starting to look at capacities of the suppliers, or the supply chain down the chain, and that can be a tricky game. You may be played out in your supply chain against another supplier. So again, you have interesting dynamics. If you have a project in that scenario, there are often established relationships where you can ask as well for a lot, and you have the information. But if there's one supply chain link where a lot of competition is, you may face very different dynamics there. Then you have the sharing and creating knowledge, tacit and explicit. So tacit, this means you have a shared practice, so you do it this way together. That is shared work and co-development. And here you have joint product development and joint account management even. This is, there you're already quite close. And then you can see, is that a rainbow? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? I don't know, it works. Yeah, okay. The sharing and creating new insights comes together with a shared density, creating new competitive space or even new products, and shared goals and resource leverage. So here you even have shared values, maybe, the true collaboration, what you mentioned. And that is, of course, where you have the biggest playground. Okay, we have, of course, as well public-private partnerships for sustainable development. We cover that as well quite a bit. We go first into, well, as it says, public-private partnerships, and we look as well kind of at private-to-private partnerships. That didn't really stay very popular. And then we look as well at third sector private partnership, and that is where we come to sustainable development. And yeah, collaboration is tricky. Do I have oh, okay, we do 3 minutes very quickly. I'm after picture interpretation. Who knows what was this? They're both from the same team. You can tell they have the same uniform, yeah? So you don't need to know what they're doing. But actually it's written behind. It's F1, yeah? So it's Formula 1. They are race drivers.
One stood first, the other came second. There was a competition between them.
Yes. So they were supposed to collaborate. The teams, yeah, they exchanged the technical data about the car and try to optimize to have the quickest car as a team. And then why was he like not really happy either, and why does he look very sad? Does anybody know of the event?
Did they both fail?
Yes. Yeah, it goes in the right direction. You're right. So they both failed in the collaborative effort. There was a team order. He had the faster car, but he wanted to win, and he could just stay behind him and try in the corners. When it gets really dangerous to overtake, and he did it actually. And then he had enough from the race and stayed behind him. And yeah, it was a big thing because he had basically ignored the team orders, the collaborative effort that was agreed. But he won the world championship, and he didn't. So, so if the reward is individual, you are in for a very bad thing. Yeah? So there are hidden dynamics, and of course you have to develop trust. Trust is normally there from the beginning, and once it's tread on, then it's very difficult to restore. Yeah? So openly sharing information requires trust and integrity. Yeah, so this is a very tricky one. And last but not least, I have as well, bad collaboration is is actually worse than no collaboration. So there as well very famous examples. My company that I worked for was as well famous for this. PepsiCo had a few brands that tried to collaborate and just stole information from each other, and then outbidded each other on the market, so they got bankrupt, and then there was a new competitor. Nobody saw that coming. So that is really bad too. Yeah, so bad collaboration is worse than no collaboration at all. And actually at as well meetings in that company, in American companies, you have sometimes a loud culture. It's bad if you are not going with it for the negotiation. Yeah. Okay, we leave it at that point. And in this seminar we go through the module aims and the learning outcomes, and then have a quick overview of the timeline, assessment, and then have my scenario where we have to decide where they are in the relationship. Okay, that is it for today. Any questions? That was just an overview. We will make sense of all that in a lot of detail, and you will see how you can evaluate and use it. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah?
We can find those slides in Blackboard.
Yeah, I'm just videoing it now, so it will be. It should be already there. Wait a minute, let me stop this. I can tell you if it worked or not. Okay, we kind of were at that slide, and in this seminar, I normally don't like to talk too much. I want to give you questions to think for. Oh, we have a new face, right? Mm. Sorry, what's your name?
It's Mike. Oh, sorry, Mr.
No, it's quite all right. Mike, hi, Robert. Hey. Call me Robert or Rob, both works. Yeah, we keep it with that, it's probably easier. And then I had a question for everybody to kind of get an idea who we all are. So where do you come from, and where do you want to go? This is not necessarily just geography, but maybe what you have done before and what you want to do in the future.
politics history at Newcastle University, and at the moment I'm working in special projects in the arts.
Nice.
I want to go into sort of project management for infrastructure, potentially like local construction.
Okay. Local infrastructure.
Construction maybe, or maybe even local government, maybe.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, very good. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. Okay, so we kind of got a rough overview of kind of the topic lines that we are covering, and we have given quite, I suppose, emotional accounts and experience accounts. I mean, I have to admit, academically we do rely a lot on literature, so it will be a little bit more a mix of clinical concepts with, of course, case studies that make it meaningful to us. So the module aims are really to develop an understanding of strategic collaboration in business, evaluate the range of strategic perspectives available to strategists in business, and it's really more for me as well that as a project manager you have an awareness what may be suggested as well in other businesses, because especially when you go in a collaborative relationship in a project, as a project manager you have to keep as well an eye that the relationship doesn't become imbalanced, that it's a disadvantage or dilemma for you. Provide a framework to analyze collaboration in public, private and third sector context. Here we look as well at the different combinations that are available, and explore strategic issues related to development of organizations through collaborative initiatives. And we have actually quite a few there. With the learning outcomes, we are always required to give those two. This is, of course, if you are fully interested and committed to it. I don't want to make wrong promises. So if you study committed in this degree, this is a very guaranteed outcome to get. Critically evaluate the complex context of partnership and interagency and collaborative working. So does that make sense? This is a literature term, interagency, so it means you have different groupings with different interests that have that create movement. So you have actors that may bundle up and have one intent, to have a very profitable project, and then you may have another group, they really want this project to generate maybe the social value. So for example, if I think of my local village in Tynemouth, we have a new roundabout, and I was really keen on my cycle lane, to get in one piece through the roundabout, and that was what the cost had cut, unfortunately, in that public. Well, it was not the PPP project, but it was the council working basically with local contractors, and my cycling line was scrapped. It was too expensive. Those are the sad moments, The social value was not generated for me, and I really wanted the cycle lane. Oh, but okay, there you go. But this is a little bit interagency. They didn't consider that my voice was important enough, and maybe I should have lobbied harder. Something like that. Then assess the enabling factors that contribute and constrain partnership, interagency, and collaborative working with a view of summarizing factors influencing effectiveness. This is more focusing again on the project management perspective, because business analysts look at it often in dual diligence and look as a asset gaining. So we kind of get a snapshot of it. We don't go too much into detail, so that you know what the documents kind of gives you in information terms. And then last but not least, critically analyze a range of tools and theoretical frameworks for auditing the effectiveness of partnership, interagency and collaborative working. And my colleague Alex, I want to bring him in as well for a guest talk if he is available, because he did his PhD on a PPP project here in the region. And he kind of worked for the council at the time, and then interestingly did his PhD for the main contractor afterwards. So he has both sides, and they were very different sides, and it's just very interesting to see the theoretical frame or the strategies that the public sector uses and what strategies the private sector comes in with. So he has kind of captured that and has an idea of both perspective, and that is a very powerful account that we can use as well as a case study. I hope that is what you expected. Added bonus, most of it is quite authentic. it's done from case studies. This means researchers have investigated and looked what is the meaningful characteristics we need to cover and to discuss in that context. So that is what the studies are based on. And then I think that is it before we actually jump into the module overview, I hope. Yes. Any questions at that point? Well, what is a case study? Case study is clear. So we basically look at studies over collaborative efforts, upfront studies where you get scenarios, you have to kind of decide the setting. This were retrospective studies, yeah? So after the case was finished, what worked well, what went wrong, yeah? And what other, we have as well like case studies from different roles, so project manager side, public side, private side, third sector side, so you gain the perspectives as well which they operated. Yeah, so it's a good account. The timeline is a little bit split this time. The first 9 sessions are kind of consecutive to the 12th. Is that actually correct? Have I got the dates right? February, March. Yeah, it is correct. Okay. So we are now on the 22nd, and you can see now this is a very linear path, and Alex should do that talk on the 19th, and then we basically run through to the 19th. And the 19th, shall I use my Access spreadsheet quickly? This is always escape. Let's have a quick look. So you have that as well on the ELP, that you can orient yourself. And this one, yes. 2015, yeah, this looks good. With a little bit luck. Oh, no, that's the wrong one, sorry. Week program, that's the one, sorry. Okay, so yeah, I did get the dates right, so I was a little bit concerned there for a second. So the first 9 sessions go pretty much straight through, and in week 10 we have a conference where we actually investigate a big PPP project and visit the Crossrail project that is going on at the moment in the UK. We go probably to 6 sites and hear different perspectives. So we will hear about the construction, the program level, the general business level, and as well I think marketing and media side. So and we will have a conference over 2 days on this. Yeah, so in that week, if you need to take a holiday with your work or something like that, it's a 2-day CPD event that you should just get released for, fully paid of course, because it will enable you to perform a lot better just from the inside. So we basically invite speakers from either side, well, from all sides basically, to present their view, and normally we bring as well a few scientists on that work at the moment on it. To get like a research perspective on it, and that is repeated in the week of the well, it's actually the weekday. This is the 26th. It's a Thursday, so we will probably leave on Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday will be probably the presentation and site visits, and then Thursday night you should be back. So it's normally 2. No wait, those are 3 days, right? Yeah, 3 days.
Where is that?
Yeah, this is a good question. So at the moment we are negotiating sites because the Crossrail is a big project. You know, it's not just London. So we kind of travel a little bit as well. So I don't really know yet where the base is. But my colleague Michelle, she's at the moment sadly sick at home. She is basically coordinating that. At the moment we have 3 options. One is a little bit north of London. One is in a partner university. And the other side would be between, it's Oxfordshire basically, but I don't know which one is in favor at the moment, so they're still making arrangements for that. Yeah. But you will get more details, I think, in week 3, you will have it concrete, but just for orientation's sake. Yeah. So and that means the break is even longer. So kind of until week 9, we will be really good in the topic. Oh, Chris, okay, it's on the, yeah, never mind. And then we have actually the spring break, and it's always a little bit heartbreaking for me to not have the assessment before it, because that normally means there's a long gap where you may read other stuff that interests you too. And for some of you, this will be really good because you will really like the literature on partnership and collaboration. So your Easter break will be reading all these books that really gain my assessment. Yeah, but some of you may decide to read something else. Yeah, then that is always a long break. So you will have a 4 weeks break with kind of like relevant stuff there, but then 3 weeks break, and then we have a summary of the contemporary issues. So this is as well research topics that are quite at the vogue. What's quite interesting is a major project association that we are a member of, that I hope to get a guest speaker from as well for building a culture of collaboration. They have actually proposed with the UK government a new way of doing public-private partnerships, and I hope that I get basically one of the directors to report on that, because at the moment this is not yet concrete, but they have a first draft on it, which is very interesting actually. And so then we have as well kind of an assessment workshop followed, and then the following week you will have for your assessment, so you can book me as well if you want to discuss your assignment with me, or you want to go through it to just be on the right track or get feedback. And then the following week, on the 7th of May, you will have to submit your case analysis. Okay, does that make sense from a timeline? You should have this list as well on the ELP. I've learned it's actually in the introduction.
For the seminar, if we are leaving on Tuesday, right? So will there be lectures on Wednesday and Thursday of the other modules?
No. It's everybody's coming with us. So it's one big conference. It's all the MSc suites. So all 3 programs will come, and as well our partner universities in Sweden and France will come.
Okay, so there will be no lectures on that week. So we are free, like we can come. Don't have to worry that we will miss a lecture.
Yeah, you have it basically on the Crossrail project. Does that make sense? So you have the same hours in theory, just in a different location.
Okay, no, for other modules I'm asking. Like
yes.
The other modules you are taking this semester.
Yeah, no, it's they don't take part, so they won't actually happen at that time.
Okay, so like we are free, we can.
Yes, of course, yeah. So you don't have to worry that Alan is still doing his module and monitoring attendance. Yeah, this would be just that would be unfair. So no, actually, I hope he's coming too. To be fair.
So how many people will roughly be there? How many students? It'll be a lot.
Yeah, it's actually a lot more. Yeah, so it's 120 students, and then I have as well my company classes from MPA that I will invite. So there are normally 20 employers or directors as well, and so it's as well a networking event. You can meet as well companies, and can ask them what they're looking for in students. How can you become the next director of the PMO? Always a popular question if the director is next to you. It's basically a networking event as well, socializing, and it should be fun as well. So there's normally as well nice dinners involved and nice side viewings. So it's a full package. Yeah. And a little bit sightseeing normally as well. Yeah. Any other questions with that? No? Okay. Yeah, and you will get the details. And normally it's very affordable. We have to often ask for a price, but it's normally like in 2 digits, so it's nothing major. It's just our university has a strange policy, therefore we call it we have a new terminology for it, and we have to make sure that we charge the students for some reason. and we have there, so it will be probably something like £19 or something, but yeah, I don't know. So just wait, maybe it's for free as well. We don't know yet. Actually, I should set the hopes otherwise. Maybe £100, but it shouldn't be more. Yeah, and then let's see what happens. Yeah. So in 2 weeks you will have it definitely confirmed. Yeah, but you can already book it in a way out as the block time. Okay, back to my Prezi, where I haven't got it integrated so nicely. So we start off, of course, with lectures and introduction and context of the module. You had it all now, and we talk in a second as well about a few definitions where we can guess what it is and see if we can already intuitionally get some right. Second one is then the private sector collaboration. So here it's really a question, why should we even collaborate? We had that competitive edge. It brings the best out in us to a degree. Then a little bit the history of partnering was kind of the partnering movement, and PFI was really kind of born as a national concept in the UK, which is quite impressive. Before it came to other countries, to America, and was as well quite popular in places like Germany and Europe in general, and Australia as well, you name it. It spread first Anglo-Saxon-wise, and then it spread across nations. Now it's very popular in Brazil at the moment, which is interesting. Then key issues as well with it. Why was it actually invented? What was the intent behind it? Then prominent examples. We go a little bit through case histories, and you will see the successes and the fails. And just when we thought we got it right, we realized that we didn't have it right in the first place. Then seminars, really private sector collaboration case study. So I will make that as well available. And if you can, scan read it once before we meet for the seminar, so that we have a discussion basis, but then we work through it and basically discuss it in groups and come up with a small poster that I then ambiguously will interpret here in front, and you help me to get through it. Then we have public sector alliances. So again, here we go in different types of alliances. Again, history of alliances, key issues with it. Wait a minute, let's go one back. Do you know what the difference is between partnering and alliance? Does anybody have a rough idea? I take guesses.
Is alliances more contractual, legal?
Yes. Yeah. So alliance is literally contractual arrangements where you specify your aims and objectives and how you deal with certain things. You even recognize capacities, liabilities. Yeah. A partnership is an agreement. You sign, we want to collaborate. We trust in each other. And yeah, that normally is. So good practice is a partnership agreement, which is not legally binding. Yeah. Which is interesting. It's a very different form. So interesting differences already, yeah? And I like to polarize it as well. Think of your personal relationships. How would you have dealt with this? Yeah? If you are married, maybe don't do it, because there can be bad resentment afterwards. Why do we have this strange contract? Yeah. Anyway, so there are as well forms, but you can actually contrast it in terms of business relationship as well to personal relationships. This is everything cleared. So, for example, I lived in a shared house, and I knew I should have had the contract for how clean the kitchen should be with criteria of dishes piled up in the zinc, if that is legitimate or not. But I learned the hard way. So I'm joking, of course. But this is a way how you can simplify it a little bit and look at it personally as well. Then with that we have as well the public sector alliance, quite an interesting one. I have as well a backup. I still have my own alliance agreement. Interesting, controversial. There was an alliance for some time hidden somewhere in PepsiCo International, headquarters in Abu Dhabi. There was an alliance for Africa between Burger King and McDonald's. The unspoken truth. There were arrangements nobody would believe. But so this is a backup alliance, but we talk about a different one there. And then we have a public-private partnership. Here it's types of PPP, where it originates from. So here's a hint already, it comes from PFI. And we look at the setting, what it means, and history again, and current practice, because this is still very current. You will see it as well in the Crossrail project. That has been as well treated partly like that. Key issues, prominent examples as well. I've taken one already away. Then third sector partnerships, interesting one. So here we have a wide variety. What is third sector? Actually, yeah, I've just assumed that those definitions are all clear. What is private? Yeah.
Charitable status.
Yeah.
Third sector.
Charities. What else?
Social enterprises.
Yes. Spot on. Yeah. So charities, trust, social enterprises, as well hybrids. Yeah? So some of the government organizations are actually as well third sector, which does look a little bit unintuitional. But we have a look at that. So and the case study that I have here is very art de vogue. It's still ongoing actually. It's a community enterprise partnership case study. And I have as well, again, as plan B, Engineers Without Borders is a organization, and as well honorary member, and they make as well cases available from the projects that they run. And they try now as well to move from the projects into kind of a community enterprise with a social context, because a lot of the stuff that they build kind of stay as unused artifacts in the landscape and haven't really succeeded. So they learned that it's a lot about working with people to actually make these technologies work. So again, fascinating. Yeah. Then we have the negotiating the relationship. So we move a little bit towards relationships, and as well, first of all, conflict, negotiation, what you cover as well a little bit more applied dynamically with Alan. We look at it from a legal point, and we look as well at it from a project setting point, which is a little bit the difference when you will see. So here we have preparing the ground in the trenches, yeah? So that gives you already the idea. Negotiation strategy, prominent examples, and a few dilemmas. So like I touch a little bit on prisoner's dilemma and the big pig, small pig dynamic. So this will make more sense when we come to that lecture. And then negotiation approaches, where we as well try stuff out. And you have to evaluate in a small group what would work, yeah, for the scenario, to get our head around this. So this should be good fun too. Then, oh, you can never see the date. I said that wrong, the frame. I should have made it bigger. Yeah, then we are in managing the relationship. People, not procedure. It's recognizing that people have preferences. In the previous talk, we had an introduction to people management, and I just there was this interesting. I worked in this American company, PepsiCo, of course, and our negotiation, especially at large contractual level, would be like very tough negotiations. Everybody would come in with their margins that they could go into, and the idea was that it was legitimate to just shout at each other, and so it started off like very, very nice, and oh yeah, how are you doing, and how's the wife, and then you would kind of pitch, yeah, we have here a few requirements, and we have noticed in the contract what you have negotiated, this doesn't really go our way, and then the voice would go up. And I remember we had a Swedish lawyer with us, and she was really kind of our spine, like we needed her, but I noticed very quickly when the voice went up, she was out. I was just too loud for her. It was not her style. She was quiet, and you could just see in the whole emotional language she thought like, oh my gosh, this is great. How can you shout at each other? And then it was worse, what she didn't understand at all. She was really upset afterwards. And then we kind of agreed something, and everybody was angry, and then we signed it, and okay, this is done. And then we got out, say, hey, do you want to go for dinner together? And she was like, how can you go to dinner with them? Yeah, so there are different emotional barriers, basically, you will see. But this is an important point. Yeah, this is really what it comes down to. As a project manager, earlier or later, you will come across it. Yeah, so it's really just a preparation exercise. And see as well, we cover there as well emotional intelligence models to see where people are at. So it's a cultural thing as well. It's very important to emphasize. Then we come kind of to the conceptual frameworks, how to evaluate partnerships. So the importance of evaluation methodologies, key issues, prominent examples, hands-on evaluation. So we look a little bit at what different companies have used, what conceptually is recommended, and so forth. And actually at that point, I think you can already have finished your case evaluation for this module. Yeah, but we have more topics. Building a culture of collaboration is the guest talk, I hope. Yeah, I shouldn't say it that way, but Plan B, maybe we share a little more because she's doing her PhD as well in this. But I have as well somebody else potentially coming for this. So yeah, treat that with care. But there's probably somebody else with me that will actually do the talk. So we look a little bit at organizational culture, what that implies as well in terms of preferences. Again, key issues, tools and approaches to actually as well access it, to figure out what your collaborative partner may be. Yeah? Do the cultures fit, or do you have already clashes by the first analysis? Yeah, that is, of course, when you have to go with precaution in and make sure that you secure as well ground that is comfortable or that allows you to basically do business together. Yeah? And then again, prominent examples. Yeah, in seminar where we have to have a look, but I will update that probably, I hope, next week already. Yeah, and then we have a very big jump. Yeah, the 4 weeks later. That is mostly because I have a feeling after the 4 weeks, if you haven't completed your assignment already by that point, it's probably worthwhile to revise everything. Yeah? So summary of what we covered, summary of key issues as well, the future of partnership and collaborative working, prominent innovative examples. So we have good practice at the moment, and again, quite exciting stuff going on here in the UK as well. So we are designing actually a new engine which will be tried in Brazil. So interesting with the culture to see as well. And seminar will really focus on revision, looking that we have all the tools. If you have questions already with your assessment, then we can address that. Otherwise, the following week you can just book tutorials with me, yeah, or as well with 2 or 3 people. It's up to you how you want to handle that. Yeah. Okay, this is it. Then we are done. Then you have the 10 credits for this module, hopefully with a wonderful mark, like higher distinction. Yeah, this is what I hope you are all striving towards. And yeah, that would be basically the 10 credits in your pocket. And any questions at that point?
And the assessment's at 3,000 word report, is it?
Yes, sorry, yeah. Is that the right date? Which day is today? Wait a minute, 22nd. Oh. I should have waited. I do it for all of us, because otherwise it's just unfair. 5th, 6th. Oh, I got the date wrong. It's 5th, so you will get it on the Thursday morning. Yeah. So in the seminar we will keep as well 50 minutes to go once through it. That was basically the idea. Does that make sense? So the 6th would be that would be pretty bad. Yeah, so that would be Friday. But I mean, we can do that too. I am quite flexible.
Is the 3,000 word report the case study evaluation?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I can work out whether those are 2 separate evaluations.
Yes. Yeah. It's literally picking a conceptual framework for the case study and then just evaluating it against it.
Okay. Are we all going to be evaluating the same case study?
Yes. And still, the surprise will be even encourage try to maybe find a concept together, yeah, and build your conceptual framework together in teams. I'm very happy with that. Just don't copy and paste from each other. Yeah, but normally, even if you work in teams, it's encourage. Go for the discussion. Yeah, look at it. You have the case for a long time. Analyze it. Yeah, be critical. Make your notes, and then write it yourself together from your notes. Absolutely fine. And in general, yeah, you will gain the most from working in teams and really discussing as well the cases. Yeah.
The case will be given by you, or we have to find the case ourselves?
No. Yeah, sorry. You will get the case and everything from me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the 5th, so next Thursday in 2 weeks, yeah, you will get the case and the whole scenario. Okay. Yeah. And as well the marking criteria and so forth.
do we use for this module?
I have journal papers. You don't like the so what I've done at the moment, I can show you this as well, because I panicked. We have a new web page, and it's outsourced. So we have basically subcontractors that are expert in marketing and making this page pretty, and not just pretty, but having the professional touch to it. But I could not find my articles for this week and next week, so I basically just uploaded it. It's this one. Have you all checked if you have access to this? Some people not? Some no? Okay, have a look that you as well attached to this, because there was already one student I had to attach to this. Yeah, so if you're not on it, just write me an email and I will attach you. Yeah. So you have here the reading list, but that was terrifying because it takes you straight to the library and it gives you kind of next week's items. So I haven't really figured out how the library has set up this, but you can see this is actually a paper. So you can read those online. Culture difference, decision making in project teams. This is actually for week 6. Yeah, so the lists are not right. So I basically panicked, and what I did instead is I gave it to you at the teaching materials. So at the bottom, I've just decided that I give you now every time additional. Oh, sorry, you can't see this. Additional reading lecture introduction 1. Yeah, and then you click on it, and there are 3 key readings. So the first one is basically, it's just literally what we kind of touched on, like the different readings. First 2 are quite industry focused. The outsourcing strategic management decision, that is actually a conceptual framework. So it's light reading. I can show you an example. It's a 6-pager. You know, it's good for going to bed. You know, if you want to have a wonderful dream, yeah, so you can read it. It's a it's a classic actually. They're very famous professors, and they kind of write what the trends are, and you will see we actually have discussed that in the lecture. So collaboration is competition in a different form. Then harmony, is not a most important measure of success. Yeah, you want to find a way to do business together. Yeah, we worked this all out in the lecture. And so in theory you could have written this yourself, but still, you know, reading does resonate with people. And so it's a quick read, I think.
So it's in the reading list is not appropriate at all?
In my lecture slide I have as well reading list, so it will be at the end of this. So this is as well up to date. It's just my library list that I have to update. But I will do that tomorrow. Yeah. Does that make sense? So if you go with it, or the last slides, it's basically those journals that I ask you to research.
For week 1?
Yeah, so this is to read up and to prepare for next week. Okay. So this is as well already talking a little bit about partnership. And you will see, I think the second paper, no, actually the third one, the strategic one, outlines already the different collaborative forms. From alliance or joint venture to what the different forms of collaborative workings are.
So we're saying this reading was for lecture 1. That doesn't mean the lecture earlier, right? Is that?
No, sorry. So today, I had no reading for you for today. So this is a reading
this
that
was down on the lecture 1 on the previous page.
Yes.
Are you counting lecture 1 as next week?
Oh, I see. So I think I was like basically additional reading for lecture 1. Does that make sense? So after lecture 1, you can read that. You can read it as well before.
So lecture 2.
Yeah. Okay. But what I will do is, I have just done that because I panicked because I couldn't find my reading list. So I will put all the 11 lectures basically on that you have the full reading list for each week. Yeah.
Would you recommend that we read the lectures material before or after the lectures?
Well, I have like a small homework. So some of the case studies I ask you to read. For example, next week is a small snippet, so we can actually read it here. But the following week is a little bit longer case study. So those will be homework. And I personally would suggest always reading like one that resonates with you, one that you find interesting at least. And if you have a topic that you find really fascinating, then read all and do as well your own research a little bit. Go maybe into Google Scholar with your own, with the keywords that you find, and investigate it a little bit, what you find in that topic. Yeah.
I'm still not clear on whether you are advocating that we read the articles prior to the lecture to get a better understanding
So
of
this
what you're
before
saying,
lecture 2,
or post lecture to reinforce what you're saying. What would you?
I personally would probably recommend to read latest after the lecture. Yeah, but if you are keen and you want to have a good idea, then you can read it as well before. But the topics kind of always are followed through on the next week. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of crossover anyway. Yeah. So, for example, the strategic management decisions, you will see that that actually resonates kind of with all lectures. Yeah. So even if you would have read that up front, it would have helped. Or the collaboration with competitors, the introduction is kind of what we did. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, and as I said as well, the 6th we will have probably 50 minutes to just make sure that the case study is right. But you can read as well before the seminar through it, make sure that you understand it, and if not, you can always approach me, and I'm happy to sit down and go through it with you, that you're on the safe side. Yeah. I think I have one more. That's it. Do you have any other questions? Wishes? Oh, I've taken far too long. When did I come? Is this actually correct? I've talked too much. This is very bad. Okay. We have the scenario next week, and I will be here a little bit earlier, but this won't help because Ellen does run the full time, isn't it? Okay, I give you the scenario. I will upload it, read it as a homework, and I'm still curious to discuss it. Or shall I can just summarize it in my own words. No, but have an early finish, and make sure you get as well to know each other a little bit, because teamwork is a key, especially on case studies. Discuss different perspectives. The more diverse the perspectives, the richer your insight is. So if somebody says like, yes, it's exactly the same, and then he says the first, and it's exactly what you were thinking, go with somebody else. This is not getting you any further. Yeah, you get the idea. Again, if you're keen on Facebook, did this work? Yeah, it did work. Oh, I'm not logged in. Oh, this is very personal here. Okay, we tried anyway. I don't even know which email I use for Facebook. This is really bad. Attach yourself as well to this blog. So here you can discuss as well if you have questions, if it works. It's a new thing. Apparently, no. If I get in. No, I see. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, by the way, be careful. I don't treat Facebook very personal. So, you can befriend me, but I may not congratulate you on your birthday because I'm just not. It's nothing personal. If I know it's your birthday, I will congratulate you. Don't get me wrong. But I don't check it regularly enough. Yeah, so there are certain problems with this. I will check this page. I try every 2 days to do it. You can introduce yourself. This module is as well a distance learning delivery. So there are 30 other students that are basically based all over the world, and some of them are in companies. Other way around. They are all working full time at the same time. And some of them work as well in strategic positions where they really want to learn about, they probably know a lot more on the ground than I do about this topic, but they're really keen on studying this topic as well. So if you want to get in contact, just attach yourself to that page and write who you are and what you are, why you are here. Yeah, the question, where are you coming from? Where do you want to go? Yeah, and then get to know each other. Yeah, and write what you want to do, and maybe ask what they are doing, and you will see it's a good platform as a start to get to know each other, and you will have a wonderful network afterwards. That was basically suggested from the alumni from your past generation of students. That something like that would really be great to just stay in touch and have a wonderful network. As well, if you have a challenge, use pages like this to maybe pitch off if somebody is working in that direction, and then get in contact with him. So there's a huge hidden asset behind that. So here you go, designed with a fabulous, Ben has done this. So it's, a lot of this is now there. Beautiful pictures. I never had that before. Okay. Any questions? This is not compulsory. See if you want to use it. You don't have to. It's an option, and you will be able to follow the comments that the distance learning students do, because their questions are set up to comment on this. Yeah.
You mentioned the case study for homework. Which one is it, and where is it?
Oh, so the scenario that I will give you today is not really a case study. Right. It's a classical drama that I have rewritten in a modern form, and it's about realizing preferences or in how people have relationships, closer, more distance. And the idea is when we meet next week to negotiate a way that you're all happy with it, that you all can agree to it. And that will not be pretty, but it's a good starting exercise to get to know each other, and it's as well fun. And you are familiar then with one of the classical dramas, the Greek dramas, I should add.
And is that under learning materials?
Yeah, I have to write it as well down, so that will take a little bit, but it will be there on the material. Yeah, it's a classical drama, so I have basically snippets with names. It's kind of complicated, but it should be there. I will do it. So tomorrow you will have it at some point. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I see you next week latest. Yeah.